Today we're taking a look at the Neewer CM31, which is a wireless microphone set. So thank you to Neewer for sending this out, but as always, honest and transparent review. Now, this is a pretty unique microphone setup because it can connect to your cell phone, it can connect to your camera, and it can connect to PC and Mac and devices like that. But one really big thing is that it can connect to all three of those at the same time. I'm starting to look around because I may have picked the wrong spot. There's a lot of bees and wasps right here, but you can connect all three devices at the same time and use the same microphone to record to all three devices at the same time through the receiver. We'll go over all that in a second. So let's take a look at unboxing, what comes with this, and then we'll jump into the test. Now, I've already told you the biggest feature that this Lavalier microphone system has. I'll make sure to put the specifications up on the screen while we do this unboxing so you know all of the specs. I'll also make sure to put all of the features in the description below. Go and take a look at the link that will be in the pinned comment section and in the description if you want to learn more or potentially purchase this microphone. These will be affiliate links, but I'll also have standard non-affiliate links as well in case you're not a fan. But if you do want to help the channel, you will be able to do that by using those provided affiliate links with no extra money out of pocket. Now I'm testing the microphone at the gym. You'll see there's a lot of basketball going on around me, and the microphone is doing a good job of picking up the sound. One thing that I'll test right now is going to be the noise cancellation. On this microphone there is a noise cancellation feature, and so by pushing, so now you should be hearing noise cancellation. It should be trying to block out the majority of the sound that's in the gym, and we'll check in post to see if it does a good job, whether or not. Let's turn it back off so we can go back to the regular so to pick up all the sound. This being an omnidirectional microphone, it's going to pick up the sound from all over, not just right in front of you. So if you're in a noisy environment, you're going to want to use that noise canceling. However, we don't know how well that does until after I check this in post when I'm doing the editing and I'm checking that afterwards. So let me know your thoughts on how well that did in the comment section below. For consistency, I'm going to test this distance in the same space that I always test it. Now, I'm going to test it first with my back to the receiver. And the reason is because typically the receiver will not pick up sound when you're facing opposite of it. And so right now I'm testing it going away from the receiver. You got cars and things like that in the neighborhood, which is a good test so you can see how it deals with ambient noises without having noise cancellation on. But if it's blocking, right now I'm blocking the signal, so we may be losing the signal, and that's pretty normal for most of these types of microphones. And if you watch any of my microphone reviews, then you'll be able to tell kind of how far these usually last or how far these typically work. But usually when I turn my back, the sound drops off and it can no longer be heard. And so this will be a surprise if this is able to pick up the sound while going away, while blocking the signal. Now I'm a good distance away from the microphone at this point, and you probably cannot see me anymore, especially because I'm using a wide angle 24 millimeter lens, but you typically wouldn't shoot something like this, and I say this all the time. The distances are cool, but you typically wouldn't shoot something like this with a regular live microphone. You use something more on a UHF channel or something like that where there's just better connectivity, dealing with walls and barriers and distance and things like that. So the fact that these are able to do distances like this is pretty good. So I will say that this one we'll see in post together. Let me know your thoughts on how well this performs. I typically don't edit these parts out unless it's just really bad and I kind of tell you where it broke off. But we're expecting this to work at a certain distance, and this should be good. So we're going to test this. We're going to take this back to the room. We're going to see how well this did. It's a super bright day out, slightly windy, but this should have been a pretty decent test for this audio. So you let me know your thoughts in the comment section how well this did and whether or not this will be able to handle your needs while recording or making content for yourself. So let me know your thoughts on that. Okay, so right now we're testing the microphone on my cell phone. Right now I'm working on vertical content for the Flip app. I purchased this skillet through the Flip app, and being able to connect this to my cell phone I'm able to get that high quality audio that you typically wouldn't get with a cell phone. So on this rig that I use here, I can be directly right in front of the camera as normal, as you would be using a cell phone. But I can also go on the go, which you can't typically do with a camera. I mean, with the cell phone, because you're stuck to being right in front of the cell phone. So being able to step away from the camera or the cell phone is a really big plus when using a microphone lav like this. So you let me know in the comment section, what does this sound like? Is this good compared to your iPhone camera, iPhone microphone, etc.? So I think this is working out well, and this allows me to move and get on the go even when I am using my cell phone as the main source of recording my content. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What does this sound like? This also works really well for meetings. The reason is you can connect this directly to your PC or Mac, and it can be used with Teams, Slack, Zoom, whatever it is that you're using for meetings. You can also record your audio directly to the transmitter here, and that way you have that later on for notes or reviewing your presentation, etc. And if you pair this with something like the Osbot Tiny 2, you can even present on the go. So even if I were moving during the meeting and I had to point out different things or walk around the room, I would still be able to pair that with both. So as you hear the pings in the background, this works perfectly for your workday. I was thoroughly impressed with the distance test. That's one of the first times that I didn't go far enough to try to get out a signal. Not only that, it was able to keep up with the audio when my back was blocking the signal. Now, let's talk about some of the cons that I found with this. The first one, the signal is very strong, but the signal is also very hot. On my Sony FX30, on my Sony A7C II, and now I'm testing it on my Sony A7 S3 in my office. I have to turn the audio all the way down to 1 or 2 on the receiver so that it doesn't peak. That's not a good or a bad thing. It is just something you have to be aware of when you're going to be using this for production. One thing that I have not liked so far on this, and that isn't something that you're used to, is that when you're using this, the receiver will show red, meaning that it's peaking, even when it's not peaking. Now that is a simple firmware fix to fix that, I believe, but very often when the microphone was not peaking, it was showing as peaking. And so that makes the screen unreliable as far as, your levels. The receiver resets. So when you say, for instance, I'm recording right now and I've set the volume down to 2, right, on the receiver, and you're hearing my voice here without peaking, if I turn it off, my camera off, or if I turn the receiver off or put it back in the case and then put it back on the camera, it goes back up to the default. So it doesn't stay where I left it. And so that's something that I would hope that they would also fix in the firmware. But those are things like the screen matching the sound and that resetting back to default, meaning peaking again. I think that can be fixed with a firmware. And these are brand new, so that's something that we'll have to check on in the future, come back to. But let me know any questions you may have. I've enjoyed testing these. These sound really dang good. I can definitely recommend them. If you don't have the opportunity to test the peaking, maybe you want to look at some other options. But as far as the sound, it's not bad at all, and I like it. So you let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are those deal breakers, or are you okay to check your audio and things like that before you start shooting? But if you like today's content and you are new to the channel, consider subscribing, joining that cozy coalition, and hitting that subscribe button below. Of course, leave any questions or comments in the comment section below. And as always, stay cozy in that crazy world, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.